Hello and welcome to today's video on vocal strain or pushing. I want you to know that this is an incredibly nuanced topic because everything in singing is connected. There's usually no one root cause for pushing or vocal strain. One area of tension in your body can really contribute to pushing here. So bear in mind that it's all connected. Even your temperament is connected to your tendency to push or strain. More aggressive personalities or perfectionists or overachievers are particularly prone to that. But really, anybody can be susceptible to pushing or straining. So I wanted to just give you some general information about diagnostically what could be going on that's causing you to push or strain, and also some helpful tools or exercises to assist you in not straining anymore. So first things first, semi-occluded vocal tract exercises are usually our first line of defense when it comes to pushing or straining because it really balances the breath pressure above and below the folds, and it gets any extra muscle that you may be using at the folds out so that you're vibrating just on the thin edges of the folds. I've already made a video about SOVTs, so you can refer to that one for more information. But I think my favorites for strain and push are the straw, taking a little coffee stir, a V, and the motorboat. So the next line of defense that I think is incredibly important is that oftentimes we are pushing or straining when we have delayed our registration into head voice. So we will push or strain when we're trying to take chest voice up too high. This can be sometimes tricky to recognize at first, but the more you can gain an awareness for your instrument, the easier it is to sort of detect, oh, I'm trying to pull up chest voice too high. A good way to approach that is to actually sigh down into your middle from head voice. So I would do this on a straw or SOVT first, doing a fifth. So trying to keep the same level of energy and the same coordination from the straw to the vowel. So I could have done right, but that wouldn't really be helping me. What I'm after is learning to listen to my body and take the coordination of the straw singing into my vowel singing. And then we can move to a vowel. And this takes time and practice, but that's a great tool to kind of put in your back pocket. Another diagnostic thing that could be contributing to vocal strain is too much breath pressure. This is something that David Jones, a famous voice teacher in New York City, talks about a lot. It is the root cause behind a lot of laryngeal tension, a lot of fatigue, and a lot of tongue tension as well. So when we're shoving too much breath pressure, it's really hard for those folds to come together in a healthy, efficient way. They kind of have to slam together and the tongue has to pull back. So some images that he gives are this idea of inhaling the voice, or drinking the sound. So that prevents us from shoving and keeps us more balanced by thinking drinking instead of shoving. The leaky tire or voiced Z is also a great way to kind of put that breath pressure on a diet. So we can do a leaky tire exercise for 8 counts into a voiced Z on a 5-tone scale into the vowel. And what we're trying to be vigilant about in this is that the breath stream stays the same despite changing from non-voiced to voiced to vowel. So here we go. So that's an example of an exercise to help with too much breath pressure. And the straw is also great for that as well, and any semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. This kind of dovetails into the next point, which is that oftentimes we have too much breath pressure because our bodies are locked and tight, particularly our solar plexus. This is that spot underneath the sternum, in between the front ribs. When that solar plexus is locked, that's usually a litmus test for way too much breath pressure. I like this thought by David Jones that when that happens, it's because we have too much grunt and not enough sigh. So invite your body to sing on the sigh and not on the grunt for a while and see how that works. Also, monitoring it physically with your body can help. Another thing that may contribute to vocal tension or pushing is tension in your pharyngeal constrictors. Now, these are these muscles that help you swallow food. Um, a great tool to relax those muscles is to gasp. I learned this from a NATS lecture. I can link that information in the description of the video. But when we gasp, we're releasing those pharyngeal constrictor muscles. Another tool to release those muscles, I learned this from Dr. Dan, and Deanna Surber, a local voice teacher, is to actually look up. That elongates those constrictors so that they're not as tight. Now, tongue and jaw tension are inextricably linked to push or strain. You're almost never going to have push or strain without some kind of jaw or tongue tension. They're almost always connected. So, any of the tongue or jaw flexibility exercises that we do in your lessons will help with this. This is another one by David Jones. We are going to put our tongue in between our lips and release the jaw down and back and sing 5-tone scales on a hum. And then you can thread that through a vowel eventually. So, feeling those muscles release and relax. The other things to consider is that maybe our mental approach to the singing needs to adjust. Maybe we need to ask ourselves for less volume or pressure. Sometimes even just the mental cue of less muscle, more breath is helpful in releasing vocal strain. Or sometimes just saying, hey, take it easy, be a little gentler is a good tool to learn to release that push reflex. Holistically, we can take care of ourselves, and that can also really contribute to ease in singing as well. So exercise can be a great way to get out that energy that you're putting in the push reflex. So go exercise, move your body, do yoga, do some stretching. Using a heating pad can help release those muscles, and getting massages or taking warm baths can also help. I think the important thing with all of this is that you really learn to listen to your body and notice when you're pushing. That is honestly half the battle. Awareness is huge when we're talking about vocal strain and pushing. I hope that this was helpful and that you're able to employ some of these thoughts and ideas in your singing this week. And happy practicing.